Bless up my sports to the bone people. Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for checking this one out. Now, as we get prepared for day 3 of this first test between West Indies and New Zealand, I want to take a look at what Taran Chanderpaul had to say at the end of day 2. Gonna be going through his interview. We're also gonna be just taking a look at how we would want to see things go down on day 3. So just give a listen here until the end. The comment section is there. You can let me know your thoughts as it relates to what you want to see on day 3. So I was on the CWI Facebook page and I was listening to Taran Chanderpaul's interview after the day's play, and he was just talking about the conditions out there. And like I said in the video this morning, it was difficult. It was hard. It was hard, my people. As Caribbean people, we know we like to see the ball going to the boundary and we like to see this and that. But, there are circumstances in a game when you can understand. You have to understand. I know that we have in the past, a lot of fans, they have come down hard on Taran Chanderpaul and Brathwaite. There are some times when it is not necessary and people play these type of innings, right? But there are some times when a game is going on and you need somebody to drop anchor. And I can tell you, I don't know, it didn't happen, so I can't pretend as if I know that's exactly what happened. But my thoughts are if Taran Chanderpaul didn't drop anchor like that, we would have been bowled out for under 100. You understand? I probably, maybe not under 100, but maybe a little over 100, right? So I didn't have any problem. Last night or yesterday was a time when it was really and truly needed. That's my opinion, right? So he was saying that the ball was really seaming around and it was basically all day. As you know, Taran, he batted majority of the day. So he said that, it was seaming around and it wasn't like it was just up front. It was basically for the entire day's play. And if you watched the day's play and not just look at the scorecard and see a man score 50 of 160 or whatever ball, if you actually watch the game, you would realize that a good portion of those balls were unplayable. I'm not saying that there weren't a few balls mixed in that he could have probably gotten some runs off, but I personally didn't have a problem with him not going too hard. So that is what he was saying. He said that he just had to hang out there and pick up the runs where he could, because the bowling was just that good. He was also saying that it was tough to get in, and once you got in, it's not like you would feel as if you are in. You had to just keep you had to keep fighting right throughout. So he said that as a team, they knew it was going to be difficult. They knew it was going to be hard to get settled. But, knowing that was going to happen and going out there and actually seeing it, that's something else. So, according to him, they were ready to fight. I watched the day's play. Not everybody seemed as if they were ready to fight. But, that is what he's saying. Said that they wanted to get a lead after an okay start. I mean, we lost John Campbell and Alec pretty early, but at one point we were over 100. I think about 100, 101 or something like that for 2 when we before we lost the next wicket. So that wasn't too bad. It's just that it so happened that lead that we would have liked, it didn't work out at all, right? So that is what Taran Chanderpaul was saying, that based on the start that they got, they wanted to get a lead. At one point we were like, let me see now, 100, 100 for 3 when we lost when we lost Shea Hope. So it would have been nice to go on and really kick on from there. But a few other guys, they didn't come to the party at all. They didn't come to the party. Taran also spoke about Shea Hope, saying that it seemed as if he was batting on a different pitch, right? We saw that he was beaten a couple of times. Shea Hope, that is, he was beaten a few times, and it was tough for him also. But the difference is that he's an experienced player. He's obviously the best batsman we have in the team. So he found a way and he scored. He moved the score along. Unfortunately, we couldn't find another couple guys. With Taran, Chanderpaul, and She-Hope leading the way, I think extras was the next highest for us. Extras, 28. So could have been even a little bit worse. Right, so going into tonight's game, my people, into tonight, or day 3, if you will. We just want to make sure that we get them real quick. They are leading by 90, I don't know, I think around about 96, because they are 32 without loss. Right, we have to try and bowl them out. And have some time. Right, we don't want them to get above what they got in the first innings. If they end up batting a little bit and get 250, you still can't blame the bowlers too tough. I mean, a man might say it's not a 250 pitch because look how we bowl them out for 231 and they get us for 160. Our bowlers are obviously not as consistent. They are not at that level. So, and New Zealand, they are obviously better than us. So if you look at the stats, average go right through, not just emotions, just looking at the numbers for the players over the years, you would see that they are a better team. So that is why I'm saying this is where I would set the bar for our bowlers, and then just trust that the batsmen can go out there and see what they can do. So gonna be a very interesting evening, my viewers and subscribers. So I tell you, Test cricket, I tell a man that Test cricket is my favorite format of the game. It's all about, just watching the fight, watching the struggle, watching people putting an innings together. It's all good when you can watch a T20 or a T10 in a couple of hours time and you just finish and you move on. But when you really sit and watch Test cricket, you will know what the players are made of. And that is what we want. We want to see fight. Guys sitting in the dugout waiting to come out to bat. I'm not saying that you're going to know what the pitch is doing, but for example, if you see guys out there struggling to score and they are being cautious because and I know the news would be traveling back to the dressing room that the ball is sweet, moving around a lot. They are keeping it on a good line and length. You don't want to just walk out and make it look like, say, boy, you just wake up out of your bed and go and decide to go and bat. You weren't there realizing and seeing what was happening, and you just behave as if you just wake up and go there and start swing. Or one almighty drive on the mat, So we have to just be careful. Now, one thing that I realized in New Zealand's innings yesterday when they were bowling, they dropped a lot of catches. They dropped probably about 4 or so catches. We can't afford that. We cannot afford that. New Zealand already have already taken the lead and they're on their way. So we cannot afford to put down catches. We just have to go out there, keep it simple. Hopefully the bowlers they will feel a little bit more in terms of the new guys. Hwan Lane, still young. OJ Shields playing in his first test. Hopefully they will feel a bit more comfortable, a bit more relaxed, and we can go to work. They have already gotten off to a good start in the second innings, New Zealand, right? So we just have to try and see what we can do. Big up.